All right. Just start with a nickname. Tell
They call
everybody.
me Lil Mex
How
out of
old are
Carno
you?
Valley. I'm 37.
37.
I come from California originally, been out here for 23 years or so. Back in 2013, I ended up having that really bad pregnancy. It turned out to be gestational diabetes and cancer. And due to subchronic hemorrhaging, my placenta and my uterus up the walls, and it went from doing pain pills from the pregnancy to after I had the baby, I buried him at 25. And then it escalated from there. I couldn't get hold of the pain pills after I had my son and stuff, and turned to heroin. Heroin turned around, turned into me shooting up and everything for a year and a half. I'm 11 years clean off the needle itself, but otherwise I still use I was using, was really, really bad with abusive relationship last 7 years or so. It went from doing heroin to, from cocaine to crack, from crack to
So
back to heroin and stuff. So
you started using because you lost your baby. Not like
I was
nobody.
using, the doctors were giving me pain pills
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. The
Okay.
doctors were giving me pain pills and anything. And I'm talking perk 15, perk 30s and stuff. Oxycontins, oxycodones, because I was subcardiac hemorrhage. At 7 months, I looked like this at 7 months.
Yeah.
The baby was 1 pound, 10 ounces. But they told me because I was raped and beaten, the internal damage that was done from the molestation of the little girl has escalated to the point to where now the baby wasn't going to make it, or we weren't both going to make it. So it wasn't. It really didn't hit me until the doctors come in there with the lawyer talking about you got to if you was to die today, what would you want to happen with the other 3 kids? Talking about do you have a living will?
Yeah.
Type crap. It scared the hell out of me. 25 and everything, having 3 other kids. I was on a heart monitor and stuff. I had to take insulin on my son. Just became full blown diabetic. Depression kicked in, anxiety kicked in, and then when I buried him, instead of really just escalate there, because by then I was already addicted to the pain pills. To where I had to have them every day.
Right.
And at the time before that, the only thing I did was smoke weed. And just that was just one thing. That was the only thing that ever broke. There's nothing else in my life that never broke me. But when I buried my son at 25, and the doctor told me you can never have kids again, that right there was the end of it.
Oh yeah, that's
And
understandable right there.
it escalated. 25 years old and stuff. But I took drug court for a little while, about 10 months or so, and they just kept giving me like a slap on the hand, put me back in jail, let me back out, doing the same thing, repeat over and over and over. And I tried. I didn't really try hard enough because I know I could do. I can actually do it if I went to my mind to. But unfortunately, my rehab, I hate to say it, but it's jail. They know me, but they don't know me. But back in 2016, I thought I was a nobody. I thought, I was just like a body just walking on this earth, and then I overdosed in jail one Sunday night. And here it is, it's 2016, we're in 2025, and people still remember that to this day. I just had a girl a couple of days ago, like, ain't you the girl overdosed, back in, FCDC? I can't believe people still remember that.
Yeah.
But this is my one and only out of body, experience. And when my body and my spirit separated itself, my spirit stood over my body, watching these people, Narcan me, watching them hit me.
What's the longest? How long have you been? What's the longest you done been clean?
About a year and a half.
How'd you do that?
Well, I went to jail, I think, for about 10 months or so. And then I turned around and got out, and I was clean for about 6 more months. And for that 6 months, though, I got myself involved in a toxic relationship. And he kept saying anything, you're getting high with everybody else but me, me, and stuff. So I kept trying to tell him I wasn't. I wasn't smoking weed, I wasn't doing nothing. And it just, yeah. So finally I got tired of repeating myself, I got tired of arguing with this man. And so I went ahead and what happened? Not only did I relapse myself back on